Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to try something different. We're going to do an interactive workshop where you're going to learn how to set soul-aligned future-focused goals and then, get this, use AI to help you refine, track and actually manifest these goals. So it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be super interactive. Here's the truth. AI can beat us in IQ tests, outperform PhDs, and even, according to some recent studies, diagnose more accurately than doctors while also being rated as more empathetic. Isn't that crazy? But here's the truth. As humans, we have something that AI doesn't, and that's the ability to dream. We can imagine what our lives may look like in 5, 10, 20 years from now. We can envision freedom, love, adventure, impact, dreams that go far beyond mere survival or utility. AI or other animals and species don't fantasize from being free from humans. They don't dream about retiring in Bali or leaving a legacy. That's our superpower. And in today's workshop, we're going to use that superpower and pair it with AI to help bring our boldest visions to life. You're not going to want to miss this workshop, so sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Hi, and welcome to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Tahir, and I'm an academic at university. I love teaching and helping others, and I'm really into personal growth and self-development. So if these resonate with you, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss another video. And in today's video, we're also going to look into why I've gone into education and teaching. So trust me, you're not going to want to miss out. So let's look at the first question. Why do some goals leave us feeling empty? Here's the sad truth. How many people do you know who have followed the traditional path, say to become doctors, lawyers, engineers, only to find themselves miserable after achieving their so-called dreams? Why does this happen? This happens because we adopt goals that have been passed on maybe by our culture, society, religion, what we've watched in TV and the movies and media, our families, without ever asking, do I even want this? That's why it's not just important to set forward-thinking goals, but also the need to make sure our goals are aligned with our soul, with our values. Goals that light us up. Goals that, even if no one is watching, you will still be proud to follow and to chase and to achieve. This workshop is how to set these kind of goals and how to use AI as your personal coach, your vision board artist, and also your strategist. Okay, how do we set right goals? Well, have you ever heard this saying, most people overestimate what they could do in a year, but underestimate what they could do in a decade? This is so true. We often get frustrated when we don't reach short-term goals and forget magical transformation occurs over consistent effort over a long period. So I want to give you permission to dream big. Set goals that are so bold that they will scare you. These are the goals that create growth. 3 MIQ framework: experience, growth, and contribution. One of the most powerful frameworks that I have found helpful when setting goals is called the 3 MIQ framework, and it's developed by Vishen, Lakhiani, the CEO of Mindvalley. So, what are the 3 MIQs? They're the 3 most important questions. And what do? Well, they split your goals into 3 buckets: experience, growth, and contribution. Experience is about what you want to experience in life. You may want to travel to South America. You may want to start a podcast. You may want to experience falling in love. You may want to experience skydiving. The second bucket is growth. What must I become to achieve those experiences? If you want to travel South America, you may need to learn Spanish or learn a bit about the culture. If you want to start a podcast or become an influencer, you may need to develop confidence or master editing. The final bucket is contribution. And this is where you will think about how you will give back once you have grown and achieved these goals. You may want to mentor others. You may want to support a cause. You may want to uplift your community or your family. last one, contribution is often the missing piece when a lot of people are setting goals. But we are actually evolutionarily built to serve and help our community. It's how we survived as a species. We're a tribal species. It's in our DNA and our hardwiring in our brain. We are built to serve people, and it's the key to fulfillment. The last one, contribution, is often the missing piece, and it's often the one that people forget about or don't really pay attention to. But here's the fact. We are built evolutionary wise to serve and help our community. It's how we survive as a species. We're a tribal species. We're here to help and serve one another. Once we've written out our 3 most important question goals, we're going to upload it into ChatGPT and ask it to analyze our goals, to find our blind spots. So is there something we're missing? Are we focusing on too much of a thing rather than a feeling? We're also going to ask it to break down our goals into simple steps that we could do daily or weekly. And we're going to ask it to help us create a digital vision board. And if you like, and you don't need to do this, but you could also allow ChatGPT to enable memory. And so it remembers your values, your past goals, and it can help you refine things over time. Almost like a personal AI life coach. You can even give it a persona like Oprah or Tony Robbins if you resonate with those characters, and ask it to guide you in that style and in that tone. Before we move on to think about our goals, I want to bring up this concept of moonshot thinking, which is inspired by Larry Page. So Google's co-founder, Larry Page, believed in something called moonshot thinking. So what's this? This is setting goals that are so ambitious that they force innovation and growth. So set goals that you may not achieve. It's actually better to set incredibly high goals, even if they're not all achievable. Because by doing so, it inspires innovation that can lead to breakthroughs that wouldn't happen if you aimed low. We don't need a 100% success rate with our goals. The difference between 50% of your big goals and 90% of your small ones is actually massive. In fact, if you're hitting 100% of your goals, you're probably aiming too low. So don't be afraid to miss. I want you to aim big, dream boldly. That's how breakthroughs happen. So what I want you to do is either grab a sheet of paper, or you could use the Notes app on your phone and write down 3 headings: experiences, growth, and contribution. And we're going to aim for at least 5 for each of these. Also, I just want you to let it flow. Don't overthink, be honest, and dream big. Once we've written out our goals, I'm going to get you to take a picture of your goals and then upload them onto ChatGPT. And yes, ChatGPT can analyze pictures. If you're writing out these goals digitally, you could just paste them onto ChatGPT. Then we're going to ask AI, what are the daily and quarterly habits that I need to adopt in order to move towards these goals? And also to create a vision board. Before we start writing out our goals, I also want to talk about the difference between means goals and end goals. Let's clear this up because it confuses a lot of people. So mean goals are kind of like stepping stones. So think like getting a law degree or landing a good job. These are means goals. End goals are what you really want. You think getting a law degree or landing that good job will eventually lead to, I guess, money or fulfillment or freedom or joy or love or adventure or fulfillment. These are end goals. Too many people spend years chasing mean goals, only to realize that's not what they really wanted. Mean goals are things that society tells us that we need in order to be happy, like getting good grades, getting into a top university, landing that prestigious job, moving up the career ladder. And whilst these goals are not bad, the problem is we often get obsessed with achieving them and we lose sight of the end goal. The end goal is the deeper reason we want those things in the first place. Let me give you a personal example. When I was younger at university, I wanted to get that first class degree in my undergrad so I could get a scholarship to do my master's. And I was so keen and ambitious to do this master's in hydrogeology because I had researched it and I saw that it's got a 100% employment rate. And I was like, right, I need to do this, and then I'll have a job for life. I'll be secure. And it was quite strategic. And I thought it was quite a smart move. And I got the degree, I got the scholarship to do masters, and then I got the job. And on paper, I had done everything right. But here's the truth. I actually felt quite unfulfilled in this job. Something inside me was missing. I didn't feel like I was making a real impact. I didn't feel connected to the work I was doing. I actually wanted to help people. I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to see the difference I was making. And none of this was happening in my job as a hydrogeologist. And after a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking, I realized something important. I had mistaken a means goal for an end goal. What I really wanted was a meaningful connection. Yes, I wanted a good job, and yes, I wanted to get paid well, but I also wanted to see people's faces light up when I motivated them, when I inspired them, when I encouraged them. I wanted to teach, I wanted to inspire, and I wanted to serve. And that's the mistake many of us make. We chase law school, good grades, promotions, prestige, not because we truly want them, because we think they will lead to happiness. But the real question is, what do you actually want to experience in life? Because it's not about the title, the degree, or the paycheck. It's about living a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you actually are. And while we're on the topic of finance, I love talking about finance, but money is actually a funny thing. A lot of people think they want money, they want $1 million, but in reality, money itself is not the goal. It's just paper. In fact, really dirty paper, or these days, just numbers on the screen. What we actually desire is the experience, the lifestyle, and maybe the freedom that money can help us access. So money is a means goal. It's a tool. The real end goal are things like traveling the world, having more time to spend with our loved ones or our family, maybe living in a beautiful home or feeling secure and generous. It's not the money we crave, it's actually the experience and the feelings that money will bring. So let's do this together. Grab your phone or a piece of paper, list out your 3 headings, and I'm gonna guide you as we go. So let's talk about experiences. What do you want to experience in your lifetime? Take a moment to make the list now. Just let your thoughts flow. And as you're writing, I'll guide you with a few prompts to help spark ideas. So think about, what do you truly want to experience? Think about the people you may admire. Those that have done incredible things. What is it about their lives that inspire you? Imagine time and money are no obstacles. What would you do? Where would you go? Who would you want to be with? You can include all areas of your life. So think about health and fitness, love and relationship, spirituality, any adventures you may want to experience. If you're a parent, think about memories you want to create with your child or your family or your partner. What kind of friendships do you want to experience? What kind of connections do you want to have? What social experiences light you up? Perhaps it could even be the type of possessions you have. What kind of car would you love to drive? What kind of home would you love to live in? Where would you go on holiday? Who would you go with? And don't worry about what's realistic. Assume you have unlimited resources. Just focus on what truly makes you feel alive. Remember, what experiences do you want to have in this lifetime? Perfect. So hopefully you have at least 5 things down. The more, the better. Okay, so the next round is growth. Who do you want to become? Let's talk about your personal growth. To experience all those amazing things, who do you need to become? I believe we are most fulfilled when we are growing. It's wired in us. Again, it's an evolutionary trait. We're built as a species to grow. That's how we survive. And personal growth is part of our purpose as being a human being. It makes us feel alive, to learn, to grow, to evolve. It's how we reach our full potential. So right now, take a moment and make a list of how you want to grow. Think mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Again, don't overthink it. Just let the ideas flow. I'm going to try guide you while you think about this list. So let's talk about intellectually. What books would you like to read? What skills would you like to develop and master? Perhaps it might be a language you want to learn to speak. Or where would you love to study or to travel? You could also think about your character. What character traits do you want to develop? Perhaps it's becoming more confident, or becoming a leader, becoming more honest, or more emotionally resistant. We could even think about emotional intelligence. How do you want to be able to handle stress in a difficult situation? How do you want to show up in your relationships? Think about your spiritual growth. How would you like to deepen maybe your meditation practice, your prayer life, or your connection with something bigger than yourself? It may also be physical growth. What health or fitness goals do you want to achieve? Have you ever dreamt about hiking maybe Mount Kilimanjaro, or skiing in the Alps, or running a marathon? Or maybe just feeling stronger and more energetic each day? Again, no judgment, just write whatever comes to mind. This is your personal growth blueprint. Let's be as bold and as true as you are. Nice, so again, hopefully you've got at least 5 things, the more the better. And the final list I want you to think about is contribution. How will you give back? So take a moment to think about, if you've achieved everything you've listed in the experiences and growth category, how would you give back? Giving is actually one of the fastest and most powerful way to fulfillment. When we give, life actually tends to give us things back. It's the funny way life is designed. It's part of the beautiful design of being a human being. So for now, I want you to set aside any doubts or limitation and just play with the possibility. Make a list of all the ways, big or small, you'll love to contribute to the world. So here are some ideas and prompts to help you. Perhaps you want to think about how you would support your family or your friends or your local community. What role could you play in your workplace, in your city or in your country? What causes of movement align with your heart? Can you perhaps mentor someone or volunteer your time? Can you perhaps teach or create something that inspires or uplifts someone? It could be art, it could be music, it could be writing, it could even be a video that touches people's lives, that inspires people. Maybe it's given financially, or offering your unique knowledge or your love or your energy to something that matters. Your contribution doesn't have to be grand, it just needs to be meaningful to you. This is your legacy. How will the world be a better place because you are here? How will you make the world a better place? Contribution might even come through your career, especially if your company does good for the planet, or you serve people in a real way. Even just a regular job or working in a regular business creates jobs, provides a service to people. So go ahead and write, don't hold back, let your soul speak. Nice, well done. So hopefully you've got a list of your goals. So here's the fun part. We're going to now learn how to use AI to manifest these goals and bring them to life. So what I want you to do is take a picture of your goals, or if you've typed this out, you could just copy and paste them onto ChatGPT, and we're going to ask it to analyze our goals, give us some actionable steps, identify any blind spots, and create a vision board. And I'm going to do mine here as an example. So here are some of my experiences, my growth goals, and my contribution goals. So let's put this in ChatGPT and see what happens. So here we have chat, and let's say here are my goals. Can you analyze them, identify any blind spots, and help me come up with daily and weekly actions to achieve these goals. So this is the prompt, and then I'm going to paste my goals here, and let's see what it outputs. So let's try read it. So it says your goals are inspiring and give a desire for meaning, for connection, for impact. So it gives me a summary. It tells me what the strengths of my goals are, possible blind spots. So it's vague timelines. So one of my goals was to become financially independent, but that's quite vague. Relationship goals depend on another person. It's got some things I need to do every day. So it tells me I should do mirror affirmation, I should write a journal, I should focus on skill building, I should track spending and saving habits, I should spend 30 minutes a day on video creation and ideas. This is pretty good. It gives me weekly actions, so I should publish a video once a week or a script, go on a cultural experience, review my financial plan, reach out to someone for collaboration or mentoring. That's pretty good. And it's got a summary of my goals, some more daily actions. I could read. It's telling me I should read or listen to study, write down what I'm grateful for, do a bit of meditation, some exercise. It's pretty good. It's given me this, and it's summarized it on a table as well. And it's also given me a prompt. What can it help me with anything after? And I would also, if you're a visual person, you may want a vision board to help you remember your goals, or you may want a vision board. So let's get it to do that. So can you create a vision board of my goals? Let's see what it outputs. It's actually a really good vision board, and it actually kind of looks like me as well. That's pretty creepy. How fantastic is that? I'm gonna download this. Beautiful. So hopefully you found this quite helpful. This was more than just a goal setting workshop. It was a deep dive into your dreams, your values, and your purpose. If you found this helpful, make sure you hit subscribe to support this channel and the work I'm doing, and I'll love to hear from you in the comments. Also, I got this idea from a course I'm doing at Mindvalley. It's a platform that has courses on personal growth, on development. I've been using it for a year now, and I've just renewed my membership because I found it quite helpful. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below if you're interested. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next time.